I'm sure you all heard the news that Emilio Estevez will not be in season 2 of Mighty Ducks Game Changers. For those of you who do not know, there is a show to Mighty Ducks. It takes place way after the first three movies, and Emilio is in it, reprising his role as Gordon Bombay, and he will not, unfortunately, be in season 2. But people were thinking it was because of something else. But I have an article here that explains the whole thingamabob. So, alright. Here, I'll just, read the reason. Okay. In the lengthy response to Deadline's November 5th story about Estevez not returning to the hockey-themed series, that was when the Deadline released their first thing about this statement, the actor says that the exit was a result of nothing more than a good old-fashioned contract dispute, as well as a myriad of creative differences. He shares his personal experience with COVID-19, revealing that he suffered the summer and fall of 2020 from what we now know as long-haul syndrome. After first becoming symptomatic at the end of shooting the pilot for Mighty Ducks Game Changers despite taking precautions, he also speaks out about filming season 1 last fall with COVID protocols. Okay. Estevez makes his position on COVID vaccines clear by stressing, "I am not anti-vax," adding that, simply put, "I am anti-bully," and telling Mighty Ducks franchise fans that I am just as disappointed as you are for leaving the show. A rep for Disney Television Studios has no comment. Deadline made a story like last week that was saying that Estevez was not going to return because of a policy about COVID vaccines, but that is not true. Okay, here's the whole thing he said. It was on Instagram too. "I'm not anti-vax. Full stop. I take this pandemic very seriously, and I'm often teased about my continued following of the safety protocols and my abundance of caution. I want to address that what transpired and clear up some falsehoods which appeared in an article regarding my decision to depart Mighty Ducks Game Changers." That Deadline did. In the final analysis, there's nothing more than a good old-fashioned contract dispute, and not, as some would believe, anti-vaccine position. While I can't speak for anyone in regards to this polarizing, sensitive issue, I have my own lived experience. In late February 2020, at the end of shooting the pilot for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers in Vancouver, I wasn't feeling 100%. I chalked up being on a cold set and on an ice rink day after day. I drove to Vancouver for the pilot due to the news of an emerging disease, which would eventually be known as COVID. My decision to drive there and back was to avoid mass crowds and international airports. I already started wearing face coverings, gloves, and using hand sanitizer. I also genuinely love driving across and around America, as anyone who knows me can attest. En route from Vancouver to Los Angeles, I became noticeably ill. Once back in LA, I begged several doctors to be tested for this new variant of flu. I was assured that I didn't meet the criteria, or there's no way you have it. After multiple efforts, I finally received the car-side COVID-19 PCR test on March 13, 2020. I continue to become increasingly sick, suffering from fever, sweats, brain fog, and mood swings. On March 17, 2020, I got word that I had indeed contracted COVID-19. Thankfully, I refrained from visiting my elderly parents and others until I received my results. I had discussions with doctors and contact tracing personnel from the LA County Department of Health. I suffered the summer and fall of 2020 from what we now know as long-haul syndrome. As the show went back into production until August 2020, I reluctantly soldiered on, but was uncertain about how I would be safe on set. I questioned the wisdom of returning to make a TV show in the middle of a pandemic, and how actors can be considered essential workers. The show producers tried their best to assuage my fears of coming back to work. "You have natural immunity! You'll be the safest one on set," I was repeatedly told. Additionally, I was warned by my former reps about possible consequences and legal jeopardy I could face for not reporting to work as ordered. So, I returned to Vancouver. I followed the Canadian quarantine mandate as well as the strict Zone A on-set COVID protocols. I did not complain, nor did I release my diagnosis to the public. I wanted to try and preserve the show moral and be a leader. However, while still suffering from long-haul syndrome, the legacy of the franchise was more important to me than my own health. In retrospect, I wrongfully choose to protect the show or being transparent about having contracted COVID-19. I may have provided another public example to wit how we are all vulnerable to this deadly disease. The quoted anonymous source producers and showrunners all know the truth. Simply put, I am an anti-bully. My exit from the show was due to a myriad of creative differences. By any other narrative is false. To the fans of the franchise, I am just as disappointed as you are. To my Ducks cast and crew, have a wonderful season 2 on the show, and please know that I'll miss you all. It was an honor and thrill to be able to return as the iconic and beloved character Gordon Bombay, a character which has been a celebrated benchmark in my 40-year career. I thank the studio and producers for creating an opportunity to allow me to visit him again. Ducks fly together. Now, I didn't watch Mighty Ducks Game Changers yet. When I was doing my TV show review series, it was on my list. I was going to review it after watching Mighty Ducks, but that hasn't happened yet. But this is kind of sad, because I was thinking about watching the show, and I was really excited for him to come back to season 2, but it looks like we're not, getting that. I'm not that mad, because this is so hard to talk about, because, like, I don't want to, like, say something wrong and, like, get attacked, but I think, and this is my opinion, okay, please don't, like, say anything, but this is my opinion, maybe it was the right choice to leave the show. It's kind of hard to film, to do anything, like, to go to a concert, to go film a movie, to go do anything during this whole thing, like, but you can't just, like, wait, I guess, until this is all over, because we don't know when this is going to be over. I don't know when this is going to be over. It'll probably be over by the time I have kids, So, you know what? I support his decision. I think that it was good for his safety. A show is important for fans, but your health is also important if you want to continue doing said show or said movie. So, that's all I really have to say. I'm going to try my very best to review Dark City soon. I really, truly want to not delay it any longer. So I will try my best to review the movie so that I can continue and then review other movies, because I want to be able to review a lot of movies before this year ends. I might have to split off certain movies to review for 2022, but I might also have to do a re-review of Cobra Kai, because that was the first episode of my TV show review, and I'm not saying it's coming back. I'm just saying that I might have to do a re-review, because I have to talk about all the seasons now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then theorize about 5 and 6. I could do it right now. I'll do it right now, but yeah, I'm going to see you all in the Dark City review, or the next video I do, where I talk about my predictions for season 5 and 6 of Cobra Kai, because we were confirmed for season 5 and 6 before season 4 was even announced. So, yeah, bye.